Hey you. Yeah, you. Did you just start playing PSO2 because you watched your favorite VTuber play and you're like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and you just installed the game today? You're watching all these different PSO2 videos and you're like, Kero, none of these apply to me. I've missed every single mission pass. I don't have any breakthrough materials. I don't know where to start for gear. Well, if you're in that boat, well, this video is for you. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily, so if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's help you out. Alright, so once you start the game, you'll spawn right here, and I highly recommend you guys to do the tutorial stuff that it tells you to do. So, you know, talk to Aphyn, go to forest exploration, do all that jazz, and just follow the tutorial. Please, please, please don't skip everything and then be confused and not know what to do. The game walks you through everything. Just pay a little bit of attention, read, and do all that jazz, alright? Once you're done with all the tutorial-y stuff, you'll notice that you have unlocked Officer Kofi over here, as well as Officer Prin. And Officer Prin over here has this option called the collection folder. And there's going to be this giant list over here. And what you want to click on is 15-star material collection 3. Once you click on here, you'll notice that there's a bunch of Val weapons. Now, we're not actually going to be picking up any of the Val weapons over here. And the reason for that is because when we go to the second page over here, you'll notice that the enhancement level maxes out at level 30. But we need our weapon to be level 35. We want to avoid the level 30s and we want 35, which is why we're going to hit up the player market, because the player market is literally flooded with Val weapons. But we're going to come to this page to see the name of the exact weapon we want, because if you just type in Val and you do search, you're not going to know what Val weapon you need. So for example, in my case, I play a Phantom, so I want to make a katana. So the katana is called the Val Valua. You can check what the weapon is by going onto the first page over here, and it'll tell you right here that this is a katana. So if I went up here, you can see this is a gun blade, so forth and so on, and it also lights up if you can actually equip it for your class or not. Alright, so Val Valua, we know what we're looking for. So now let's go over to the player market. So we're going to go to personal shop, product search, and we're going to type in Val Valua. And search, and right here, Val Valua has popped up. Search by price. And you can see over here we've got a beautiful Aqua over here screaming check my shop, and you can see over here this Val Valua is only 31,000 Meseta. Now there is something important to check, and that is the second page over here. You gotta make sure that the enhancement level is actually 35 maximum. You'll notice it because it'll turn orange. That's how you know that, hey, this is good, that this is something that we want to buy. Alright, you don't want to make the same mistake as Johnny Bravo over here and buying a level 30 maximum one. You can see the difference over here. You see, Jotaro, 35 maximum. Aqua, 35 maximum. Johnny Bravo, 30 maximum. So you want to look for the ones that say 35 maximum. Very, very important. Okay. Now another thing you should also look at is the number of slots. So you can see that this Valua weapon has 8 slots, which is very, very good. It's the maximum slots you can get on a weapon. So probably a good idea to buy this. And it's even better if it has an S ability. So you can see here it says S3 aggressive will. If you go to the third page, you'll be able to see things a lot more clear. You can see right here, S3 aggressive will. Let's see, does this weapon also have it? Oh, this weapon also has S3 aggressive will, which is really, really nice. It also does a very nice breakdown of all the stats for this specific weapon right here. So you're just going to pick up the Val weapon that works for you. Once you have your Val weapon, then we're going to head over to the red light district. So the red light district is located up here in the shopping plaza on the left side. We're going to run up the stairs, and right here, this is the red light district. It's not actually called the red light district. I made that name up and it's just kind of stuck. So once you're here, you want to talk to the NPC on the far left. So it's right here, Photon Drop Swapper. We're going to talk to her and we're going to do the Photon Boost Exchange Shop. Alright, and we're going to buy 15 of these EXP weapon minis. I'm not entirely sure if 15 is enough or too much, but we're going to find out together. Once you buy that, then we're going to come down over here. We're going to find Monica or Dudu, depending on who you like. And they're right here at this purple area. So we're going to talk to Monica because I like Monica. Then we're going to go to enhance item and we'll click on weapons and we scroll down till we find our Val Valua that we just bought. Click on that. It's going to tell us here that the elemental blah blah blah, ignore that, it doesn't matter. And we're just going to feed it this item. Now there is a limit of 5 every single time. You can't feed more, as you can see here, so you can only feed 5 at a time. You do confirm. And if you do have any boosters, you can increase the great success chance if you want, but in my case, I don't care. So boom, once it hits level 10, you're going to click on this. It needs to unlock a potential. Now this is going to cost 100,000 Meseta. You're going to click on this. It'll also cost 3 photon spheres, and you're going to be like, yes, no problem. Now if you didn't know where to get photon spheres, you can also get it from the same NPC that we bought all of these EXP weapon minis. You can exchange it there. So for those who are confused on where to get photon spheres, as we can see over here, photon drop exchange, they're right here, photon spheres. You can exchange 99 of your photon drops into 1 photon sphere, or you can change 10 photon crystals into photon spheres. You also get these all from Advanced Quest, so you'll be perfectly fine. Just keep running Advanced Quest to get all of these materials, alright? Now you can see the Val Valua that we just got is now plus 35. Now the moment you get this to plus 35, you're gonna run to the Titles Exchanger. So she's located in the gate area. And right here you see the Title Keeper. We're gonna talk to her, and over here there will be a new title for you. And the reward the title will give you is a Chrono Eternity Stone, which just so happens to be the very important material that you're going to need to make your Val Valua into an Atlas weapon. So we're going to run over to Ziggs now. Now Ziggs is right here. We're going to talk to him, go to melee weapons. So in my case, mine is a katana. And you can see right here, in order to make an Atlas Valua, you need a Valua weapon at plus 35, which we just made. We're going to need the Chrono Eternity Stone, which we just got from the titles, and we're going to need 999 Goldnia and 999 Saf Hards. Now in order to get these two materials, you're just going to need to salvage a ton of 12-star weapons. Now you can also salvage 13-star weapons to get Goldnia if you don't care about that, but that's how you get these. Basically, I recommend people to salvage all of their 12-star weapons, get a ton of Saf Hards, and then go to the swap shop and swap whatever's needed for Goldnia. Now for those who don't know how to salvage things, don't worry, you're going to press F9 on your keyboard, this will come up, and you want to go to personal quarters. Now if you're playing on console and you don't have the F9 button, then you're going to walk into the block transport over here, and at the very top there is personal quarters. Once you spawn over here at your personal quarters, it's not going to look as chaotic as mine, but don't worry. You're going to come over here to this little machine, because you're definitely going to have this. You're going to talk to it, and right here at crafting. Once you come over here, don't freak out. We're going to go to DIY crafting and an item dismantling. Once you come to this menu, it's going to show you all the different weapons you can dismantle. So you can see over here, this is a Sigma weapon. This is a 12-star weapon. As you can see, if you count the stars, it's 12 stars. And every time you salvage one of these, you're guaranteed to get 9 Saf Hards as well as 81 Silver Grimos. However, if you get lucky and you hit the Great Success, then you get 36 of these Saf Hards. So you're going to need to salvage a ton of these weapons, okay? So you can salvage that, and let's just see how many we get. Boom. And we got regular, you know, just regular success, not great success. Now for whatever reason you might have a bunch of 13 stars to break down, you can also do so, because it gives you 36 Saf Hards as well as 36 Goldnias if you break down 13-star weapons. So this is how you get these two materials. Now if you're super lazy and you just want to buy all the materials, you can do that as well. All you need to do is check market price right here, and you can see Saf Hards, they're going for 1,000 Meseta. It's not that expensive, but you know, when you're buying 999 of them, it might add up to a little bit. And of course, we can also buy the Goldnia if you want to do that. Also 1,000, but then again, 999, it does add up to a little bit of Meseta. Now, if you're salvaging everything by yourself and you're still lacking Goldnia, it's perfectly normal. Don't worry about it. What you can do is you can come to the swap shop over here at Cameo, talk to him, and go to Craft Shop 1. Once you come over here, there's a bunch of different materials which you can exchange for. And what we want to find is Goldnia, and you can see right here, Goldnia is for melee weapons. Now, of course, if you use a range class, then it's going to be Gold S. And if you use a tech class, it's going to be called Gold Grimo. So we're going to do Goldnia. And you can see right here, I have 31,000 Silverinias or whatever, right? And so I can exchange 10 of them for 1 Goldnia. So if I just want to do 999 Goldnia, I can just do that, and boom. The reason why it says 998 is because the maximum you can hold is 999, and I've got one in my inventory right now. It's not because I don't have enough, because it only consumes 9,000 of these. And this is also a very good way in order to get materials super duper quickly, because you might have a bunch of this just sitting around. All right, so now that that's exchanged, now we're gonna go to Ziggs and we're actually gonna make our freaking weapon. So we're gonna go to Ziggs, go to melee weapons, katanas, and we're finally gonna make our Atlas Valuable weapon. So we're gonna click on exchange, and you can see right here we can put in the katana, we can put in the 1 eternity stone that we got, we can put our 999 gold nia, as well as our 999 sap hearts. Then we're gonna click exchange. It's gonna be like, are you sure? Blah 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 blah, and you're gonna be yes. Boom. All right. So once that's done, you'll notice that you have an Atlas Valuable weapon now. And so now we've made our Atlas Valuable weapon, the last step is to make our Atlas EX weapon. Now, this part may take a little bit of time depending on your situation and how fast you're playing the game, but it's perfectly fine to just use the Atlas Valuable weapon until you get all the materials you need to make your Atlas EX weapon. So in order to make the Atlas EX weapon, you're going to need your Atlas Valuable, which is the weapon we just made together. You're going to need a Lumiere weapon, and you're going to need 400 X cubes. Now this Lumiere weapon over here, you can make it, but it's stupidly complicated. So what you can do is you can just buy this off the market. It's literally like 200,000 on the market. So we're going to go search for that right now. So it's Lumiere Kazazazaza something. So right here, the Lumiere search by price. So right here, we can find the cheapest one. But again, over here, we do need to be careful. We need to make sure that the enhancement level is 35 maximum, all right? Don't be fooled by the price. This is the thing that's most important. It has to be 35 maximum, okay? Now the slots and the elements over here do not matter. So literally just buy the cheapest one as long as the enhancement level over here says 35, okay? So we're just gonna buy this one right here. Thank you very much. TYTY. Alright, so now that we've got this weapon, we need to get this weapon to plus 35. So it's the exact same process as how this worked, how we got this to plus 35. So we're just gonna rinse and repeat and copy. Okay, so now you can see we've got the Lumiere weapon at plus 35. We've got the Atlas Valuable also at plus 35. So once you've got these two weapons at plus 35, we're gonna talk to Ziggs again, go to melee weapon, go to katanas, Atlas Valuable EX right here. You're gonna go exchange. You're gonna pop that in, pop this in, and you're gonna need 400 X cubes, all right? So X cubes will take a little bit of time to farm for, but I believe in you. You just exchange your 10-star weapons into X cubes. It's super duper easy. Let me just cancel this to show you. You literally press escape. You go to swap shop right here, X cubes, and you can change 10 to 12-star weapons all into X cubes, all right? But do remember your 12-star weapons are also used to exchange for your Sylvinas or the silver ones. So you might not want to change them in the very beginning. You might want to just change 10 and 11 stars, and then like 12 stars you might want to just break down. Or if you just want to buy everything off the market, you know, you can just get all the materials you need for like 2 million. So that could work as well. So now you've got everything ready. We pop that in, pop this in. All right. Then the next part is very important. It's going to tell you to select base weapon. All right. The base weapon that you're going to want to select is the Atlas Valuable over here, because it's got the most slots. Now, of course, if your Lumiere weapon over here has more slots, then you might want to pick that one instead. But in my case, I'm just going to pick this one because it's got 8 slots. And boom, exchange complete. And you can see here now I have an Atlas Valuable katana at plus 35 with 8 augments. Now before all of you guys flip out, I know the augments are absolutely garbage. They're all over the place, but it's fine. If you're an absolute new player, everything's gonna be fine. You're using this weapon as a stepping stone in order to do all the content the game has to offer. And once you farmed up enough materials, you're gonna be graduating and moving on to better weapons. So don't get too stuck up on this weapon and trying to get the perfect affixes and all that jazz. It doesn't matter that much. Okay, now the next question I know everyone's going to be asking is, what about units? So the units I'm using on my Phantom over here are the free units that you get from completing episode 5, I believe. So just blast through the story. You can press escape to skip all the cutscenes if you want. I do recommend watching it. I do enjoy the story, but if you're just blasting through it for the gear, then, you know, press escape, because it will take quite some time. Like, story is a good hour, 2 hours maybe, and that's if you're skipping everything. So it does take a little bit of time. I do recommend starting at episode 1 and moving up, because there are quite a lot of rewards and titles and star gems that you can get, which are very, very beneficial to your account. but this is what I went with. I just went with the free story gear. However, you're not going to be sticking with these units forever, right? These are good band-aid solutions. What you should be working towards is your TrailBlazer units. So I'm going to teach you the most easy way first, and that is obviously going through the player market. However, the player market is volatile, so you know, it might be super expensive, might not. So we're going to do TrailBlazer, and you can see right here there's the arm piece, the back piece, and the leg piece. So you know, let's check the arms piece right here. Search by price. Holy cow, that is really expensive. All right, maybe not buy them. Maybe making them is going to be a little bit easier. So let's check out the Starquake first, which is like a tier below the TrailBlazer. You actually upgrade the Starquake into the TrailBlazer. So let's check the back piece over here. And it's $1 million, so you know, it's sort of doable. So you can either splurge the Meseta and go buy those units, or if you're super cheap like me, then you can talk to Ziggs over here, go to get unit, and you can actually make all of the pieces. So for example, the back piece right here, you're going to need to start by making the Starquake back piece. So in order to make that, you will need 50 Void Fragments. So once you make that, then you need to upgrade it into the TrailBlazer, which again, you're going to need the back piece that we just made with 50 Void Fragments plus another 50 Void Fragments. Then you can upgrade this to the Super TrailBlazer units, which is up here, which will cost an additional 100 Void Fragments. So that's essentially 200 Void Fragments per unit, and you have 3 units, so 600 Void Fragments. Now, first of all, I want to tell you that is a lot of Void Fragments, and you really shouldn't go out of your way to farm that many. Maybe just stop at TrailBlazer and you should be good. So that's 100 per piece, so 300 total. That's probably the extent that I personally would go for now, especially if you're a new player, or else you'll burn yourself out. Because in order to farm these Void Fragments, you're going to need to do an urgent quest or a trigger called Persona. And since you're a new player, you're not going to be running on the highest difficulty. You're going to be running it on super hard. However, lucky for you, running it on super hard is actually a very good way to level up your character as well. So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're leveling up as well as farming for these Void Fragments. Now, you're not going to get a lot of these Void Fragments every run. You're going to get like 4 of them every single run. So you can do the math. You're going to be farming for it a lot. Now, in order to get these triggers, you're going to have to come over here to the badge and memory exchanger and go to exchange rising weapon badges and go to rising weapon badge exchange shop 4. Come over here, scroll all the way down, and you're going to see the Malevolent Void trigger, and you're just going to buy a ton of these. Now, every time you complete this trigger, I believe you get a couple of these back, so I do recommend running with a couple friends so that you can alternate between triggers, or maybe like you run 10 triggers with them together and then they'll host 10 triggers together, so forth and so on. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heels, the